What It Look Like TV, YouTube's own Varnell Hill.
Did ya miss me?
Back with another one, and today we're gonna get into week 1 of the NFL. This is what we all been waiting for. We've been sitting around. Sunday's been boring as heck. It starts tonight with the Lions versus the Chiefs. So let's go through a couple picks and see who's gonna win what. It's week 1. I haven't seen nobody play, and I'm not real big on watching sports talk all year long with all this hype up and all these different stories. I like for the games just to play out and see what people got. But week 1 is going to be a little interesting. But believe it or not, with the first game, tonight's game, the Lions versus the Chiefs, the Lions been trending in a positive direction. And the Chiefs, they usually get off to a little slow start. So I'm going to pick the Lions tonight to shock the world. I'm not saying that the Chiefs ain't going to end up in the Super Bowl at the end of the year, but I'm picking the Lions tonight. Now, when we move on to the next couple of games, we got some duds. The Panthers versus the Falcons. I'm going to go with the Panthers because the Falcons always disappoint. Even if the Falcons win, it ain't going to mean nothing. So the next game, we got the Texans and the Ravens. I think this one is pretty much in the bag for the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson's going to come out on a tear. He's well rested. He got something to prove. I think he's going to have a big year this year. So that one clearly goes to the Ravens to me. Bengals versus the Browns. That rivalry was a rivalry for half a year and it's gone. So you know the Bengals going to stomp them. The Browns are back to being the Browns. Next, we got the Jaguars versus the Colts. This one, I really don't know too much about either one of them. They two dud teams where I come from. So on this one, I'm going to go with the Jaguars. The Jaguars was trending in a positive direction last year. They got the young quarterback dude, I forget his name. I'm going to go with the Jaguars on that one. Next, we got the Buccaneers and the Vikings. This is interesting. I'm not even sure who the Bucs got at quarterback right now. Somebody hit me in the comments section, let me know who the Bucs got at quarterback. But I'm going with the Vikings on this one. The Vikings always get off to a strong start, then fizzle out in the playoffs. So I'm going with the Vikings on this one. Next, we got the 49ers versus the Steelers. Everything in me is telling me to pick the 49ers because they have such a dominant team. But right now, with their quarterback controversy, I can see them being down to the second or third string quarterback by the third quarter in this game and it really being in flux. So I might gotta roll with the Steelers on this one. The 49ers are gonna have to show me a little something. Going into the season saying that you confident in Brock Purdy, the Purdy man, as Bomani Jones used to call him, I can't buy that. Can't buy that one. Where we at? The Cardinals versus the Commanders. I think the Commanders, even though they in the same division with us, I'm an Eagles fan, even though they in the same division with us, I think they're gonna get this victory. Cardinals look like they trying to tank this year. And anytime your quarterback out in practice with the sports bra on, y'all need some time over there to figure out what y'all doing. Team morale was killed as soon as your quarterback came out looking like that. I'm pretty sure it was. But anyway, next up, we got the Packers versus the Bears. I'm going to go with the Packers on this one because the Bears have been a disappointment for years, and I don't really see it changing this year. I haven't seen too many roster changes, but I don't follow Chicago too closely. But I'm going all Packers all day on this one. Next up, we got the Raiders versus the Broncos. I'm going to have to go with the Raiders on this one. Broncos, they kind of been trending even over the past couple years to be a bottom of a barrel type team. And I really don't see Mr. Clean Cut guy, I forget his name, Russell Wilson, being able to do too much with that team down there. I think people are getting kind of tired of his whole holier than thou act, and it might be splitting the locker room at this point. Okay, now we got the Dolphins and the Chargers. This is an interesting game because this game right here, I really don't know how to call it. The Dolphins and the Chargers are two teams. The Dolphins been trending up over the past couple years, and the Chargers seem like they just can't never get over the hump. Seems like they're always right there. They always have a good team or a dominant team, but they just can't get there. Seem like both these teams, but I think the Dolphins now, they got a little window with New England not being as good as New England has been over the years. So I'm going to run with the Dolphins on this one. I think the Dolphins going to win this one. They're going to get off to a good start. They're going to shock some people. Next up, we got the hometown boys, the Eagles, versus the Patriots. You know who I'm going with. Eagles all day on this one. And I don't want to look past these guys, but the Patriots haven't been the Patriots since Tom Brady left. So I think if we go ahead, we play a solid game, we should get out of this one. Hopefully no injuries going to week 2. Undefeated. You see, that's going to be the thing. The Cowboys playing the Giants and the Commanders playing the Cardinals. Seems like it's going to be 3 undefeated teams in the NFC East. But anyway, next up, we got the Cowboys versus the Giants. To me, this is another one that's a toss of a coin. But I'm ecstatic that the Giants and the Cowboys get to start the season against each other. Our 2 biggest competitors, one of them going to take a loss in week 1. That's going to be great for us either which way. But on this one, I think I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this one. Dak has a lot to prove. I think Dak going to come out looking really good the first 5-6 weeks. And then I think he's going to start being Dak again. Or at least that's my hopes for him. But anyway, on the last game, we got the Bills versus the Jets. This right here, this gonna be a good one. The battle of the other New Yorks. This gonna be a good one. The Jets are revamped. They got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. The Bills has supposedly on that trajectory to be that team for the past 4 years, and it hasn't happened. I think what's going to happen in this one is the Bills is going to sneak the Jets and get a victory on that one, and they're going to make Aaron Rodgers' debut sour. Got a feeling on that one. But that right there is week 1. That's how I'm seeing it. We can go back next week, see what I got wrong, what I got right. But like I said, with this being only week 1, I'm going to have to look at a couple teams and see exactly what they got and what's going on. So this is pretty much just like a rough estimate. You know what I mean? Week 1 of the work pool. But hit me in the comments. Tell me what picks you agree with, what picks you don't agree with. We could chop it up. We could see how all the chips fall, and we could do it again next week. If you done made it to this point in the video, you are my MVP.
It was a stone groove, my man.
I'm out of here.